Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you guys joining me. Man, yesterday's reading, woo, I've been listening to that song, We Belong, by Pat Benatar, and oh my goodness. You know, my wedding song, like my song with my husband, is I'll Stand By You by the Pretenders. And someone was like, Pat Benatar was with the Pretenders. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, I recognize the quality of that voice. I like almost do not have a playlist without I'll Stand By You on it. I'm not obsessed or anything. But yeah, I love that song, and that's my wedding song. And then wow, okay, that the We Belong song though, there's something about it that is just like heavily resonating with the frequency that I'm tuning into. All right, here we go, you guys. We are tapping in and we are diving in, and we are going to see what messages are in store for us today. We're going to start with the Psychic Love Tarot and just kind of get a feeling for what's going on here. All right, here we go. For Pisces, please, Spirit. For Pisces, please, Spirit. What does Pisces need to know right now? Okay. You have the Emperor and the Ace of Swords that wants to show up here but isn't fully coming out for your spread, for your reading. This may be someone that really wants to take control and communicate to transform a particular situation, or to offer the situation what they have. Like, I'm getting like, I want to bring what I can to the table to try to transform it. Like, this is my attempt. Okay. I feel, I mean, this energy right here is giving me diploma. Like, someone may have learned something, or may have even like ascended. They may be in a new kind of version of themselves showing up, where love is more important to them. They may have shed an old skin or mastered some old limiting belief system. They may have overcome it, or they may have like be working to overcome it. We have the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Star card and the High Priestess. Holy crap. Straight, what is this? Major Arcana. Thank you. I'm struggling with words already. I feel an energy of like struggling with words. So this can be someone who has struggled with words, or has felt like they don't have the words to say, or can't find the words to say, or like when they try to say them, they lose the words that they want to say, or even like the will to say them. Okay, something like that. Okay, so this is kind of a past energy, and this is kind of a current energy, and this is kind of a future energy in this kind of three card spread. And I am reading these like oracle cards, even though they are tarot cards. Okay. I am feeling like there was something, this can be where something has gotten stagnant, and in order for it to flow, in order for it to kind of rise to meet its intended occasion, its intended potential proposal, I don't know. This is so strange the way words are coming to me. It requires healing, and it requires breaking free of lower vibrational tendencies that keep us from having what we want. There's also a really strong energy of aligning with love, aligning with the heart center on a very like a higher level, a spiritual level. And we have the High Priestess here, which is, you know, of course, listening to our intuition, listening to our higher and better self. It requires courage to listen to our intuition and to let our intuition be our guide. And sometimes that requires, you know, unshackling ourselves from the need to control, from the need to know how everything turns out before it starts, from the need for logic and reason to be more predominant than flow and intuition and, you know, seeking the answer within ourself kind of energy. This is with the this connection is a teacher. It is a teacher. Okay, it's a teacher. like it's lifting us. It is it's giving us the opportunity to unlock the door to a deeper spiritual level. Okay. That doesn't mean, okay, together. It just means it is unlocking that for each of us. It has the opportunity to unlock that for each of us. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. So, we start off with that Wheel of Fortune energy, and you have the edge of evolution feels really messy. And this, like, in order for something to break free, sometimes it's not always like straightforward. We don't just go from point A to point B. Sometimes we take a step backwards. Sometimes we shut down. Sometimes there's sort of some climactic moment where, we're reacting or we're feeling something that's super uncomfortable that sort of overwhelms us and shuts us down. But that is when we lean into that, when we are willing to face that or to look at that or acknowledge that or admit that, that is the like map or the guide that takes us toward healing, toward well-being, toward, the light shines in through the cracks. And it's kind of like our human tendency is to not want to deal with things that are messy or ugly or don't, align with our own view of ourselves or our desired view of the world or what is, or our relationship or ourselves or the other, whatever it is. We don't like those things. And so our tendency is to kind of look away from those things or to ignore those things. But there's a huge opportunity for us when these things arise. It's a gift when these things arise. We have a tendency to look at it like it's not a gift, and it is a gift. It's a gift every single time. And when you think about it that way enough, when you look at it that way, when your perspective shifts to embrace it being that way, you welcome these opportunities to look at where you can grow or where there is a wound that you can heal, or a fear that you can shrink. We do all of these things by sitting with it, by facing it, by not being afraid of it. When we sit with the energy, it shrinks, it loses its intensity, it loses its power over us. And so there is this energy of, this is a creator air energy, which is a very logical and analytical energy. It's a very I need it to make sense. I need it to be black and white. I need it to fit into these zones. I need it to make sense as far as like my priorities go. It's kind of rigid in a way. With the Wheel of Fortune, this requires us to give up control, to give up logic and reason, to trust the universe, to put our faith in this idea that kind of everything is happening as it's meant to, and that we are exactly where we are meant to be, and that our strength and our stability comes in, it comes from within. The world is going to be an ever-changing place regardless of what we do. And if our perspective is strong, this is giving me the vibe of Amor Fati. If you're not familiar with it, you can look it up. It's like one of the strongest philosophies that we can hold to embrace, to like face life. It's AMOR and then a separate word FATI, a love of fate. Where, it's like I am letting go of my need to control. I'm letting go of my need to make things make sense or to have things happen in a straightforward way, or for even the Wheel of Fortune to turn from point A to point B, for it to work out this particular way. The truth is that, not every relationship or not every situation in life it can even reach its highest and best form from moving from point A to point B. Like sometimes we do have to backslide. Sometimes we do need a separation. Sometimes we do. And it's the edge of evolution is messy. If we're so guarded and so we need to control something so much, it loses a sense of authenticity. It loses a sense of rawness and a sense of its own power and its own ability to create itself, or its own sort of like, random but perfect path that is, or like, ordained by the universe, is like how I'm getting it. So when we let go and we give into flow, we open this opportunity for healing. And also, it's not lost on me, you have this creator air energy, and you do have Aquarius energy right here. You also have, this is like Jupiter energy, so it can be Sagittarius, or in old astrology, Pisces. And then you have the High Priestess Pisces energy, and then you have the Hierophant Taurus energy here. Doesn't have to mean anything, but could. It says prosperity's sisters are happiness and joy. And then you have the Star card. And the Star is where we have a return of hope and optimism in life. This is like where we have healed wounds that have maybe kept us cynical, or kept us in a state of disbelief, or a state of, I don't have anything to look forward to, or my life is kind of set in stone, my set of circumstances that I'm in, or the set of circumstances I'm just destined and always will be in, because they're not changeable. It's an energy that's resistant to flow. But when we open up to embrace happiness and joy, and like, part of embracing happiness and joy is also accepting life on life's terms. It is accepting that what life is like, how do I want to say it? When I can accept life on life's terms, and I can look at life from a place of stability, the center of the Wheel of Fortune is the place of stability. And this is where I am so in alignment with myself, and I am so integrous and coherent between my mind, body, and soul, and my heart, that like, no matter what life brings at me, I'm going to respond in my highest and best energy. And so I'm always that rock in the center. And yes, I cannot stop the flow of everything that's happening around me, and I can't control it, and I don't need to. All I need to do is control myself, and to be that rock solid pillar of consciousness, and that stays in the center of the wheel and doesn't go up and down and get carried away or swept away or swept out of alignment by the comings and goings and changes that are happening just naturally and normally in life that cannot be controlled. When I embrace that, and it's like Sir Swami Satchidananda. This quote is attributed to a lot of people. I feel like I always have to say this when I use this quote, but like, I am on the tree of yoga, the branch of yoga, the integral hatha branch of yoga that was created by Sir Swami Satchidananda. And this quote is a lot of times attributed to him, so I attribute it to him because of my personal connection to it, okay? But you'll see it attributed to many people. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf, all right? And so, this is kind of what this is saying. Like, you cannot control the waves. You cannot logic that with them. You cannot reason with them. You cannot say, I need you to appear at this time. I need you to be like, I'm ready to surf, so bring it. I want like whatever, a half pipe. I don't know anything about surfing. I did used to hang out with a surfer though. But yeah, like, I don't know. I need that like really perfect wave to come in because I'm ready for it. Like, we can't control things like that. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I'm sure surfers would really like that. But instead, we just kind of have to roll with what life gives us, and we have to trust it. And we have to trust that, like, if this is our moment, the ocean's going to give us that wave. And that, if this is a moment that's meant to be quiet and calm, the ocean's going to give us that. And the thing is, all we can do is perfect our ability to surf whatever life throws at us. And once we do that, when you aren't worried about what's coming next or what has already happened and how you dealt with it and how you handled it, and you're able to be in the present moment, the silliest things will make you happy. The silliest things will bring you joy. I literally saw this thing on Instagram yesterday, and it was like 3 things that I learned from my dog. And one of them was that like happiness like really comes from the simplest things. And it's so true. I've said this many times on the channel, like some of the things that like signal happiness and joy within me are like turning on my gas stove, that sound that it makes, everything about it, just when I am fully present, just turning on my stove brings me this jolt of happiness. It's the same thing with like when I'm running my bath and I put like salt and bubble bath and like whatever I want in there, like when I'm concocting that day's recipe, that makes me freaking happy, and these are simple moments, and these are not like big monumentous things. This is not like I need this person in order to be happy. I got to move this mountain. I've got to keep this from happening. I've got to get this job. I have to, make this happen. I have to, all these things. It's like, no, it's like when you're fully present in the moment and you are allowing what is to be, and to be like enough, or like, how do I even want to say, like, that you're just at peace and acceptance with what is, whatever life is throwing at you, or whatever life is throwing at you that day or in that moment, or you're able to kind of just let shit go. Like whatever, like whenever we show up for yoga class, my yoga teacher we go through like hip openers, stretches and things that like limber up our body to prepare us for like our asanas that are coming. And the thing about it is, there is this my yoga teacher just does this really beautiful thing where she's like, she brings you into the present moment by helping you leave behind everything that brought you to this place, and is basically like, while we're here in this yoga studio, like, you don't need to think about that. You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to try to control that. You don't need that on your mind. There's nothing you can do about it. The best thing you can do for yourself is just be fully present here and now. And she like works you through this whole thing mentally. And it's just like the most beautiful gift, because you can literally feel your body softening. You can literally feel yourself like almost becoming more flexible, more able to adapt to whatever comes. And, like more focused just on, kind of being the best you can be to show up on your mat, which is just such a gift. Anyway, wow, when we're in this energy, we're really pliable and we're really supple and we are really flexible. And this is the kind of energy that leads to the best healing. And it also leads us to this ability to really leave our past behind and our past narrative behind. I've been working on this for years, you guys. And the person I would say can help you the best with this is Dr. Joe Dispenza. I also think Brene Brown, just in her ability to help you understand your feelings or give words to a lot of concepts and ideas, it can be very helpful in healing. But really letting go of yesterday's narrative so that you can become your best self today, right now, in this moment, and like fully be present and live from here and move forward, instead of continuously letting your past have any say on your present moment or on your future, which is healing. And this is the big shift that I feel with this combination of cards. It is really like letting go of past pain, letting go of barriers and burdens that prevent us from opening to love and prevent us from opening to happiness and joy in this moment. If you've been through trauma, sometimes it's really hard to laugh. Sometimes it's really hard to just let your body respond to things that are even bringing in joy. So I don't know if this is your energy, Pisces, or if this is someone else's energy, but there is this softening that seems to be happening in the current moment where, we are both kind of accepting life on life's terms, and also sort of letting go of the things that are no longer serving us, and welcoming in this energy. My yoga teacher will also say, you can allow yourself a soft smile on your face, or you can smile at this challenge, or you can smile at, like, if you're balancing and you're having a really hard time balancing or whatever, she's like, you can offer it, a soft smile, or whatever. It's like, it's a beautiful energy because it teaches you really to like smile at the things, or send that kind of energy to things that are difficult, and it I don't know, I feel like it helps you break through some of that residual like tenseness that comes from trauma. But anyway, and just sort of welcome in this energy of joy and happiness. It's not forcing a smile, and it's not forced positivity or anything like that. It's literally offering the challenge a soft smile, okay? And see where that takes you. But I feel like somebody is kind of opening up to be like, maybe I can embrace happiness and joy. Maybe I can heal. Maybe I can be happy again after having some kind of intense situation here. Maybe I can let go of the need to control, because that need to control a lot of times comes from either like a need to be perfect, or a need to not be traumatized or suffer again. Then you have this energy of listen, and you are living poetry with bravely market your magic. This is an energy of being so in alignment with your highest and best self that you are at one. When you are in this energy, like I know when I'm in this energy, because when I'm like reading tarot and stuff, I'll say something and then the card comes out that like confirms that. And I kind of always try to stay in an energy like that. But when I am like that, I'm really connected to my highest and best self, and I'm really plugging into my intuition. And when I do that, everything works in harmony with each other. And I also am more, open to saying what comes to my mind. Like sometimes when I'm not totally in flow, I'll get an intuitive hit and then I won't say it. I won't give a voice to it, because it's like I'm lacking confidence, or I'm lacking the kind of like readiness to put it out there, or to be wrong, or to, I don't even know how to really describe it. But it's just like, or I'm also not really listening to my intuition. Like I'm getting the message and then I'm not acting on it. But when I'm in this state where I am listening to my intuition, I say things and then they're confirmed almost immediately. Or I think something, like I get an intuitive hit, and then boom, there's something that matches it. There's some kind of confirmation, a sign of synchronicity, I like, you know what I'm saying. And so this is kind of like being so in alignment with yourself that like your life is in total coherence or cohesion or whatever, and you're not hiding anything. You're just living your authentic truth. You're letting it all out. So the path to these places is oftentimes messy, but these places take us to a higher and better place. They take us to, if we follow them, if we are open to them, it brings us to a place that is more spiritually advanced, higher and better. I don't even know how to say it. We belong. Oh my God, you guys, that We Belong song is just like, it is just in my everything right now. I can't stop singing it. I can't stop hearing it. It's making me crazy. I can't remember what the other song was that got like this. It was like Lone Star. Something, or I don't know. I don't... I feel like Pisces, you do have someone that's kind of like watching you. They're keeping an eye on you. They may be really following your social media. They're however, whatever access they have to you, they're using it to keep track of you. And honestly, another thing that I'm getting from this energy is like connecting on the 5D or like through telepathy or through the dream space. Um, like, or even trying to, what is that called? Remote view. Is that right? Blind view? What is it? I'm getting blind and remote view. I don't know. But it's like this energetic cord connection. You have, our beliefs were just too different. I couldn't reconcile mine to yours. You know, Pisces, there is this energy of, you know, maybe you, because this is ruled by Jupiter, which is old horoscope for Pisces or old astrology for Pisces. And they may have been very like logical and analytical, and you may have been like more to the flow or more even like spiritual, or like everything is unfolding exactly as it's supposed to. I'm just taking, I'm not fighting it. I'm not resisting it. I'm not trying to make sense of it. I'm just accepting it. And this person may have been like, oh, I can't do that. Kind of energy here. And then here you have, everywhere I go, I look around as if you'll magically be there. When this person begins to focus on happiness and joy, they're associating it with you. And they're feeling this sense. I'm even getting this sense here of kind of letting my mind wander, and it is always going to you. Or when I'm feeling happy, or I find myself giggling to myself or smiling to myself, maybe it is in memory of you or in fantasy of you. And then here it says, I settled for second best because I don't deserve you. These are the choices. This energy is very typical of where we are, like how not being connected to your intuition manifests in your life, shows up in your life. You know, when you're connected to your highest and best and you're listening to your intuition, you're guided toward everything that is in your highest and best and everything that is meant for you. When you're fighting it, when you're resisting it, or when you're blocked from it and it can't guide you, it can't take you where you're not listening to it. Remember how I was just saying that? Like I will get the intuitive hit, but then I won't say it out loud. And then I'm like, oh, the next minute it's confirmed. And I'm like, why didn't I say that out loud? You know, this is that kind of energy. We start settling and our life starts going away from what we want it to look like. It starts feeling like this kind of foreign place. Like, how did we get there? Why is my life so out of alignment with what I really truly want or what I'm really truly feeling? And so there is this energy of, I'm this is a future energy, and it's kind of like I understand my choices now. I can either bravely lean into myself and trust my intuition, or I can constantly be wondering why my life doesn't look like what I want, or even understanding why it doesn't look like what I want because I'm not brave. This says bravely, and this says I settled. I settled is I'm not courageous. I settled is, you know what, I know I can have this with surety. It doesn't stretch me. It doesn't push me. It doesn't force me to be brave or to be courageous or to have answers or to take risk or to, you know, risk intimacy or any other thing, you know. This thing just kind of lets me stay the same and prevents me from growing, but it also really is reflective of a lack of bravery and a lack of healing, or that, you know, even I had this awakening or this opportunity to heal and to go into my highest and best self, and I chose not to. So that's what we're dealing with. So there's someone out here who's got some choices and decisions to make and could kind of go either way. But I definitely feel that this person is healing and seeking happiness and joy and maybe prioritizing that. And I think that you are heavily tied to that for this person. All right, let's get a look at the tarot. We're going to do a little spread. Keep in mind this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? Bunchy, oh my gosh, girlfriend, you're nudging me and it's messing me up. No, we don't growl at each other. Not in this house, madam. Go lay down. Lay down. You don't growl at Bhakti. Bhakti is so kind to you. Lay down. Lay down. No, you need to think about it. You don't growl at people. Lay down. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to look at your person. We're going to look at what they're thinking. Okay. We're going to look at what's in their heart space. We are going to clarify these energies. And then we are going to, okay. And then we are going to look at your energy, and then we're going to look at the energy of the connection. Okay. I'm good with this. Okay. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Wow. Yeah. So this connection, I feel like clearly like has an energy signature of what I was saying before, where it is like a healing connection. It is providing an opportunity for growth. It is providing an opportunity to open up to healing and to kind of like step into our highest and best self, to empower ourselves. And like each person will be faced with that choice from this connection. And you know, could some of these connections end up coming together? 100%. I mean, definitely, from what I'm seeing. Are all of them going to come together? Probably not. But the only thing that you can concern yourself with here is whether or not you're going to be one of those people that's going to choose to open up to allow it to bring you into your highest and best. Honey Beckett, do not chew my plants. That is not okay behavior. Girlfriend, you're getting in an awful lot of trouble here this morning. All right, so in your person's energy and their mental body, you have the Eight of Swords. So let's clarify this. You guys know that this is mental entrapment. This is somebody who keeps going around and around thinking the same thing over and over again. And it is this creator air. Wow, we have the Knight of Swords in reverse and the Five of Pentacles upright, clarifying this Eight of Swords energy. Yeah, so, you know, this is someone that, like, even if they saw the truth, even if they got, you know, a download of the truth, it's like, Honey Beckett. Girlfriend. Nobody's going for your toy. Bhakti's not going for your toy. We don't growl at each other. No, we don't. Yes, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. Okay, my grand dog is having a moment, and I'm really sorry about it. But she's, you know, she wants to go play. This energy, you know, whenever we have a card that is like action and it's coming out in reverse, you know, it's saying like, even though like I may see this truth, I'm not acting on it. Even though I may be, and it's also giving me this vibe of, it is this very nature of the creator air energy that is preventing me from being able to move. Being able to even act on the truth or see the truth or, you know, kind of be in alignment with the truth, like to take action on it. And where is this energy stemming from? What is the root of this? It's the Five of Pentacles. It's those basic human fears that we all have. And it's preventing this person from being brave. And this is like in their mental body. They keep going around and around and around. And even when they come to this place of truth, like, you know, when I think of Pisces, I get really happy. You know, maybe I'm supposed to move in that direction, or I feel sort of guided to move in that direction, or it only makes sense to move in that direction because it makes me happy to think about. This person is then immediately moving on in this entrapped circle where there is no growth allowed, there is no movement allowed, because it takes them back around to this energy of why they can't, or why it won't work, or why they didn't do it in the first place. And that all comes from some kind of scarcity mindset, some kind of fear here. In their heart space, we have the 10 of emotions, so the 10 of cups with the 3 of swords. So there is this true desire to have emotional contentment with someone, but there is this wound that exists at the heart of the matter that isn't healed, that prevents them from being able to make this kind of progress. This wound is driving their subconscious mind, which is driving their choices and their inability to take action or to let growth happen. Because it's like, I want this, but I'm not aligned with this because it's kind of controlling me. It's kind of ruling me. That's why we see the star card energy here in the current, where there's a healing energy, because that's what's needed to really turn this whole thing around. And that's the opportunity right here. With the Five of Swords, there's this like self-defeating energy. It's like, this is what I want, but kind of here's why I can't have it. Because, I have this wound that causes me to kind of defeat myself mentally. And I don't even realize it. I don't realize that this wound, this unhealed wound in my heart, is kind of the pilot of my ship here. But with the 5 energy and the moon energy, there is an opportunity for change as this is revealed. And the opportunity for this to be revealed is kind of like happening automatically here, it seems like. And so as with the moon cycle, it's like, maybe we start at the new moon where we don't see anything, and then little by little it's revealed. Like, you kind of have to ask yourself though, right? Like, you have to be somewhat introspective and curious about it. Like, why isn't this working out for me? Why aren't I seeing these results? Why aren't I going after this? Why do I want this so bad, but I'm not seeing it happen? Or I'm like, even possibly there's a recognition that I'm defeating myself, or that I'm self-sabotaging this with the 5 of Swords. In this person's actions, you have the 8 of Material, which is, somebody who's working to master themselves. They're putting a lot of effort and energy into it. Guys, here's where we see the real change, and it's actually happening in the action space. You have the High Priestess and you have the 7 of Swords in reverse, which is this 8 of Pentacles. And you see in this card, it is a mask. This person they're becoming more honest, and they're becoming dedicated to being more authentic and to letting go of we have a mask because we're afraid to let people see our truth or our authenticity. We think that our truth isn't good enough, or our authentic self isn't good enough, or in some cases, or in a lot of cases, part of our mask is just that we're sort of raised to believe that we need one for protection, that we can't let people see who we really are, because then they're going to judge us and be critical of us, and they're going to know too much about us and have too much ammunition. If there's anything that I feel like this channel and doing this has really taught me, other than like how to better utilize my intuition, it is just that, like, the closer we are to our truth, like, I don't really, do people come by and drop comments that are like judgmental? Absolutely. Does my family even watch these videos from time to time and like leave me nasty comments? Yeah, they do. I don't know why they're still thinking about me. I'm really not over here trying to affect them in any way or engage with them in any way, but they are still engaging with me in a nasty way, not in a kind way, not in a way that we can do anything with. But there's this energy here of I kind of, other than the fact that you don't see my face, right? Which is like, I guess, not seeing my identity, but all of the ways that matter to me, that are important to me, that are true and that are real, I'm giving it all to you. I don't have any filter. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm not holding anything back. Like, I'm giving you everything I got. I'm giving you the best of me. That's how I feel. That's my goal. That's my intention. And like, the more you let go of your mask, the easier it is. Like, I have become, I feel like a better parent, a better wife, a better friend, just because it has freed me up to be real time in touch with my like highest and best and truest and to just really be able to give people my everything, and real time in conversation as it's happening, and and kind of drop the ego and kind of drop the mask. And this person, it feels like they're really learning this lesson. It feels like they're almost even like realizing the role that this mask has actually played in their life, and that this mask is actually representative of what exactly is misaligned within them that is preventing their life from looking like what they actually want in their heart space. And they're really working on this. They're putting dedicated effort into it. And at the same time as they're kind of releasing this energy and sort of learning a new way to be, or like programming themselves in a different way, they're also connecting to their highest, to their intuition, to their to like opening this channel. And that's exactly what happens. The more you drop your ego, the more you let go of, I've got this insecurity, I've got to cover it up, and I got to cover it up by like saying the right thing or being the right thing or hiding things or not letting people see this or protecting this or protecting that. The more you let go of all that kind of energy, the more open flow there is to your intuition. And it's like there's so much noise that just drops away. And our intuition is the quietest voice in the room. Our ego is the loudest voice in the room. The ego will be shouting from the freaking rooftops, okay? They can hear it on other planets. But the high priestess will always be, a whisper. It's just an offering. It's your highest self saying to you, hey, you could try this, or hey, remember you're feeling this, or did you notice you're always feeling this when this? It's always a loving voice, and it's always, it's connecting you to the vibration and the frequency of love, because your highest self loves you more than anything. You are its expression, its physical expression. And it won't lead you astray. It's going to always keep you in the straight and narrow of what is meant for you. And so this is someone that is in releasing this need to cover their insecurities, or to fulfill a role, or to be a certain way, or to have, people accept them in a certain light. As they release that, they are stepping closer and closer into this like authenticity, and into this like really listening to their intuition, which is really what's needed to take them to self-mastery, to where they don't need this mask anymore, to where they can really be their authentic self, and they don't need to cover or hide any insecurities. They become okay with who they are, and I say this all the time. It's like Sidney Poitier's book, The Measure of the Man. He says in there, it is not about sailing the perfect ship. It is about, learning how to sail your ship to the best of your ability. And that's this. It's like, I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to prove to anyone that I'm worthy, or that I deserve their admiration or their affection or their anything. I just need to be true to myself. And when I'm true to myself, the right people will find me, right? The right things will always show up in my life. I just need to worry about mastering myself, that Wheel of Fortune energy there. So you can kind of see that we're still in this energy, moving toward this healing energy. And it's kind of starting here in the action space. And a lot of times it does take just putting one step in front of the other, trusting this energy and kind of taking action, and then kind of allowing the rest of it to follow. As we start having success here and we start seeing the results of this here, it convinces our mind to let this energy go, to free ourselves for growth. This stops being in alignment with us, and it stops feeling right, and we stop being able to kind of stay here. It forces us out of that position. Okay. Now onto the feminine energy. Or not the feminine energy. I don't know what. Okay. The Piscean energy. All right. I am deep in it right now, you guys. We have the I love this energy. Oh my God. I love this energy. Okay. Sorry. We have the Ten of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles, with the Ten of Pentacles and the Emperor clarifying this. Okay, I'm so excited that my whole self is getting ahead of my ability to speak. Here is the thing. This is about, in my head, I have learned a lesson. And this lesson is that I have to make decisions that are in my highest and best. And I have to kind of base that on what is really showing up as being something worthy of investment. Something that I can see very clearly. How do I want to say it? It's like, if I pay into it, it is going to grow. It is going to get more substantial. It's solid and stable. It's a solid and stable investment. And it's like, I've invested on potential. I've invested in the highest ideal version that Neptune energy allows me to see. I've learned this the hard way. I've learned this by sort of doing everything else and come by this, and this is reality. And now that I understand this, and now that I know this, and now that I kind of know how to keep myself in check, or to keep myself focused or directed in towards this energy, I'm really taking control in a meaningful way. I'm only taking action towards these things that are really worthy of my attention, my action, my investment. Period. This is in the mental body. In the heart, you guys are in the heart space, we have the Hermit and the Three of Materials. This is saying I'm totally cool and comfortable being myself. And any kind of collaboration that comes in that wants to work with me, or wants attention from my heart space, or wants to share a vision and a plan with me and build something with me, has to be a true collaborator. They have to be someone that's actually showing up in the material world and that is really offering me what I have to offer. Otherwise, I'm good on my own. I am on my own spiritual journey. I love myself. I love my own company. I love the possibility and the potential that I see. I love the wish fulfillment that I'm working for toward me with me. Somebody's got to really earn their way in here. Otherwise, I'm cool on my own. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, it's got to be reciprocated. It's got to be an equal give and take. Someone's got to be willing to choose me blatantly and completely, the way that I choose them. Or it's not happening. It's got to fully be reciprocal. The choice has to be reciprocal. I'm not going down this path of, well, it could be, maybe, sometimes. It's like, no, it's showing up or it's not showing up. It's choosing me or it's not choosing me. It's reciprocal. It's an equal give and take, or it's not happening because I'm good me with me. This just is like very solidified here. It's in the heart. You're very in alignment here. Very in alignment here. It's crazy how in alignment you are, Pisces, showing up in this reading. And the action space, you have the Eight of Emotions and the Sun. This is like, I'm seeing things clearly now, and I'm willing to walk away, even if I've invested, even if I'm invested, even if, I'm so close to being happy with a result, but it's just not changing. It's kind of stuck. It's going around and around and around again. It's not, I'm not ever getting to the 9. I'm not ever getting to where I want to get with it. I'm willing to let it go. Those 3 things that Buddha says in life, one of them is how gracefully we let go of the things that are not meant for us. If it's not reaching that 9 or 10 of cups energy, then I just have to accept that it may not be meant for me, and I got to let it go. And if I let it go and it comes back to me, then okay, it just wasn't the right time, but it was the right thing. With the Four of Pentacles, it is an energy of, this is coming through as in the Four of Pentacles has been coming through this way recently. It's like I'm moving from a secure place. I'm only building on a firm foundation. I'm not, saying, well, it's not perfect. It's in the side of a mountain and I got to put stilts on one side and the stilts aren't exactly level, but there's actually like a YouTube channel and I can't think of what it is called. It starts with an S. but it's like these people bought a house sight unseen. This guy bought a house sight unseen in Newfoundland, and he shows up. Like, I saw the first video, so I've kind of been a little bit invested in it. But he shows up and the house is like all kind of twisted and warped, and like you can actually like see inside the house on one corner of the house, and it's like super old. It's like this old Smurf blue farmhouse, and like he's lived there for like 27 weeks or something, and like the majority of the time it's just been like trying to square up this house. Well, he just built an addition onto it, but the majority of the time it was like squaring up this house and getting like the braces right, and it was pretty incredible. Like some stuff just wasn't even attached to anything, and it just, anyway, you're just like watching him make this super firm, you know, plate, like a super square place to begin with, you know, taking it and just like getting like the foundation right. And it's just giving me this energy of like, I'm not gonna start like adding on to this or fixing this up or like making this beautiful or trying to make this look a certain way, or I'm not giving into this pressure to like be validated, or this pressure to like pair off and procreate, or like any of these energies. Like, I'm not going to feel forced into that. I'm only dealing with things that are like square and plumb, and the foundation is firm and solid, and I can offer myself that. And if that means that I'm protective, I'm not letting other things in that are going to, you know, like fuck with that is what I'm getting, okay? And like, I'm very committed to this with the Four of Pentacles. And do you see how many pentacles are showing up in this reading? This is very like, I am very focused on what is real. I'm very focused with what is showing up in my life. I'm not drifting off into this like fantasy or into what could be or into any kind of potential energy. I'm like seriously dealing with what is really here. And I'm being super honest with myself. And if this is something that I need to walk away from or that I need to let it go, I'm doing that, because my top priority is the foundation that I'm building for this next chapter of my life, or from like where I'm going. And with the Sun card, there is an energy of healing here too, but there's also this energy of like, I'm almost getting, you know, the Sun can talk about a reconciliation of soulmates, and it's kind of like this belief that if something is meant for me or someone is meant for me, they're out there and they'll find me. Like it's more important for me to stay true to myself and to my foundation and to my own happiness than it is for me to like kind of force something to work, or for me to say, well, I've invested all this time and energy into this, I can't just let it go. I gotta see how it all works out, or I gotta keep giving more to it, for God's sake. It's like, no, I need to be protective. I need to hold back. I need to only give to the things that are really showing up in real life. With the Ace of Swords and the Sun card, there is such I'm seeing things very clearly. I also believe that you're seeing people and situations very clearly right now, Pisces. And you're taking action on it. You're not just seeing it and going, well, you know, I don't know. No, you're like, I'm seeing this very clearly. I have no more confusion. The things I need to walk away from, I'm walking away from. If it doesn't bring me extreme happiness, if it doesn't make me feel better, then I'm walking away from it. This energy is much more aligned with the center energy. This is like your current energy. This person is a little behind you. You may actually be leading the way, okay? But you are, this Ace of Swords is just, it is like clarity, but it is also, there's a very strong energy of cutting off the things that just aren't in alignment with your truth. And you are seeing the truth. And you're seeing the truth from a much more healed position than possibly you were at one point. You are in alignment. This is like gorgeous. All right, then, so the highest and best potential for this connection is the Temperance energy. And the current energy of the connection is the Knight of Pentacles energy. And this is a pretty interesting energy because Temperance talks about like mixing things. by, you know, I take a little bit of this, and then I take a little bit of this, and then I take a little bit of this, and 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 like they're coming together a little bit at a time. No one person is overpowering the other person. No, it's not happening so fast that it just sort of like burns out. It's not like gunpowder and fire coming together and it's just like boom, you know, it has like a 1 second explosion. It's a very thoughtful, methodical, balanced way of coming together. And it's also kind of guided by the angels. This energy this is also Sagittarius. Some of you may be dealing with Sagittarius. You also have Leo energy. But this energy, it requires patience, and it requires a lot of trust that, you know, when we do something the right way and we do something very balanced, and we allow something to take the time that it needs to come together, it comes together in such a way that you can't ever really separate it back again. You know, it's together in a grounded and balanced way, and in a way that is more enduring. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not an entanglement or a codependency. It's enduring. Because, yeah, there's an equal mix of the energy there, okay? But it's also, this temperance energy is extremely balanced. So, I mean, it's just giving me that this is the potential for a long-term connection, and it is coming together in a right way. And sometimes there is a leader and there is a follower. And, you know, energetically, when you're in this space and somebody has to rise to meet this equation to be a frequential match for you in order to bring this thing together, keep in mind, our future energy is kind of like, if this person chooses their highest and best, which we saw that they did with the 8 of Pentacles and the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, if they their actions are matching this choice, even though in the head space and in the heart space we're not totally there yet, their actions are matching this choice. You could be leading them. You know, your energy could go into this first, and then in order for them to match it, they've got to get here. You know, they've got to get in this kind of alignment in order to match up. They've got to show you that they are going to show up in real life, and that they are worth letting in to your sacred space here that you've created for yourself. The current energy of the connection is the Knight of Pentacles, which is almost like a willingness to take it one step at a time, as long as those steps are meaningful, as long as those steps are like headed in the right direction. The Knight of Pentacles is the most trustworthy knight in the entire tarot deck. It is an energy of that crosses the finish line. It's very reliable. And it's also slow though, so this requires patience. This can even be a connection that's been coming together for a while. Wow, okay, Temperance has the Tower in reverse. Oh man, okay. Wow, sheesh. Man, oh man. Woo. Okay, your temperance is being clarified by the Tower in reverse. A lot of times with the Tower in reverse, this is like an internal truth. This is like an internal awakening. It's like something that happens on the inside, not the outside. It's like, oh my God, I had this moment of clarity, or I had this moment of inspiration, or something finally got through to me, and I can't unsee it, I can't unfeel it, I can't unknow it. It's like a bright shining light of truth within me. And this can lead to healing. You have the Temperance there. It's also like kind of what leads us to this energy. The light shines in through the cracks, right? And so when we are willing to face the things that aren't so pretty, or that, you know, are challenging, or that are you know, kind of exposing our own misalignments or our own wounds, when we let the light shine on it and we say, oh wow, what a gift, the light is shining on this wound, which can also be like triggered, you know, I'm triggered, then we have the opportunity to heal it. We have the opportunity to not be triggered by it in the future because we're looking at it. We're willing to sit with it. We're willing to say, you know, I'm not going to let this affect me like this. I'm exposing this wound. I'm shining the light on this wound. I'm healing this wound. All of that is light energy. And, you know, I'm bringing that into the shadows or into the part that I haven't wanted to see or into the faulty foundation that is causing a misalignment within me. And I'm letting this truth expose this so that I can fix it, so that I can sit with it, so that I can learn from it, so that I can be my teacher. And with the temperance, it's like I'm rebalancing, like through this process of this kind of awakening that is happening within me. I am restoring the balance and I am healing. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles here being clarified by the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a hard energy because it is hard to walk away from things that we've invested so much in and that we have so many feelings for. But in order to go toward our actual wish fulfillment, we have to be willing to walk away from this. That is the challenge. The edge of evolution feels messy. It's oftentimes painful. It's oftentimes something that we kind of feel like we don't want to do at the same time that we're doing it. Nobody, you know, embracing change is like, it's such a gift. It's to be somebody that does embrace change. A lot of us kind of resist change almost immediately, but then like eventually give into the like accept it and then go with it. If we just accept it from the beginning and just accept that it is a part of life and that it's going to constantly and perpetually be happening, and when change happens, we look at it like, okay, this is going to teach me something, and we go with it, we lean into it, then we're going to be a lot happier. Like, it's just life loses its resistance. It loses a lot of friction. It loses a lot of its difficulty, to be honest with you. And so there is this decision here with justice, and it is to walk away from these things that are hard to walk away from, but I'm doing it because I insist on having my wish fulfillment. I insist on, you know, being content on my own and with another person. And this is what's required. And even though it's hard, I'm taking it one step at a time and I'm just moving in this direction. And as a result, we are moving in this direction. Okay, and with the Four of Swords here, there's a ton of healing energy. There's also an energy of like almost healing without realizing it. Just the natural process of, you know, when we let go of resistance, when we let go of a need to control, when we accept life on life's terms as it is, we open ourselves up to like almost like automatic healing. Okay, that's what I got for you. Here, let me get you guys some messages. You guys have doubting, blocking. Be patient with me, please. This is if you're dealing with a water sign. I'm working on myself. I've been having weird dreams about us. Our eye contact is insane. Old flames, and I regret how I handled things before. All right, if you're dealing with a fire sign, you are getting, I am still moved by you. Trust me. Twin flames. Your words speak to me like no others can. Cold and regret. Oh, and another one. Repressing. I've been talking so much this morning in a very animated way. Okay, if you're dealing with an earth sign, you have I am afraid to trust, excited, you were so unexpected, my karmic story is ending, and I remember everything you said. If you are dealing with an air sign, you hit me out of nowhere. Okay. Resentment. That flew underneath my desk. So this person could be trying to distance themselves from this feeling of resentment. Fantasizing, or that could be going away. This person may have resented the hold that you had on them, or the fact that in order to have you, it required them to grow, and they may be letting go of that. That's kind of like holding on to resistance against change. And then you have, you are the one, and we will be together again. All right, guys, this is what I have for you. I really hope it helps. I hope it brought you some peace and clarity. I am off to the eye doctor to finally get some real glasses. Are you proud of me? Are you excited? I can't wait to see what they look like. And hopefully they're actually going to help me see all of the time, everywhere that I look. All right. Anyway, guys, I hope they don't dilate my eyes. I hate that feeling. Oh, nobody likes it. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to the eye doctor. I'm going to be brave. I am. I'm taking on this challenge. I've been avoiding it for a long time, but my husband doesn't think I can pass my driver's test if I don't get glasses. So off we go to the eye doctor. I have to get my license renewed, and they sent me a letter that says I have to take a vision test. It was like the universe was like, girl, it is time for you to be able to see again without these like $2 reader glasses. All right. Anyway, enough of my gabbing. You see, I'm avoiding and procrastinating. Here we go. Off to the eye doctor. Anyway, all my best to you guys. Always, always, always. Until next time. Bye-bye.